Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm Mark, and this is episode 14 of Minecraft Stoneblock. I am down in our little processing center behind our storage room, and today I have a couple little projects I want to take care of, maybe three. The first thing I want to do is build a good cobble compressor. We have automated cobblestone upstairs, and we're getting plenty of cobblestone out of our essence farm or essence process here. But I want to do compressed cobblestone because eventually I need to make the portal for the deep dark, and I need to make the aroma mining dimension, and both of those items take, I think it's quintuple or maybe septuple compressed cobblestone. So we need a lot of cobblestone. While we're looking at this, I'm also going to go ahead and claim some rewards because I did make some fully upgraded cobblestone generators specifically for this project. And I also made automatic sieve for another project, the second one we're going to do today, and I don't think I have any other outstanding quests to deal with. Doesn't look like it. So let's go ahead and open these and see if we get anything good. We get some more storage for our AE2 system, which is always good. We get some costume stuff, which we really don't care about. And we get some mechanism upgrades, which are fine. Those are going to take up a lot of room in my inventory, but it shouldn't be a big deal. So, cobblestone generator. I am going to use these tier 5 cobblestone generators, which create 1 cobble per tick to generate all the cobble we need. And I think I will just stick those here, and they're already generating cobblestone. I do this every time. There we go. If I right click, I get cobble out. I kept doing it backwards. So they also extract to the inventory that's on top of them. And if I stick this stuff here, they immediately start filling with cobble. And I want to grab my drawer key because I want to get the right bag. I want to lock these and the rest of the drawers that I'm going to be setting down here. So we lock these up, and that's all we have to do there. So these are going to end up with double compressed cobblestone, and it accumulates not super fast. It takes a lot of cobble to make double compressed cobblestone, so it doesn't take a lot of speed to pull that out of there. And what I'm going to do here is, I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to stick that there. And if I pull 1 double compressed cobblestone out. Yes? No. See, they are backwards. That's a left click. If I put this in this bottom right drawer, this is going to be double, triple, and quadruple compressed cobblestone, which is fine. So I can lock this, and then I can set all of these. I'll just use a drawer to jump on real quick. I can set all of these to extract always active, and they will immediately pull all their double compressed cobblestone out and stick it in this drawer as soon as I set this to insert. And you can see we're accumulating double compressed cobblestone here pretty quickly. So that's going double, triple, quadruple. We're going to do the same thing here. And this is going to do, so if I do that, whoops. If I do that, and that drawer is locked, so those are going to stay in place, and stick that there, we're already up to septuple compressed cobblestone here. Now, clearly we're not getting any septuple compressed cobblestone yet, but that's okay. So I can do the same thing here. I can extract from this one, always active, and I can insert on this one, and the quadruple compressed cobblestone here that accumulates will end up down here. And we've already gotten 2. And now I'm going to have to go away and wait for a while because the last drawer, this is septuple, so the next drawer is going to be septuple or sextuple, septuple, and then octuple. So I'm going to stick this here for now. And if I do this, I can set this drawer using a different color to extract always active. But I don't want to do this yet. And eventually I'll set this one to insert on brown. So nothing else can insert into this drawer. And once we get our sextuple cobblestone, I can stick 1 in this drawer, and that'll set all these drawers, and that'll give us our complete cobble compressor system. And it's relatively easy to expand this. You know, I can put another row of cobblestone generators here and just run a pipe across, and you know, we'll be set. So I'm going to let this run for a while, and we'll see how much cobblestone we get. We are still waiting for our first quintuple block, and let's see, it is 1:30. So if I remember, I will take a look at that before I stop this sequence of recording. So the next thing I need to do is prosperity shards. I talked about this before. Basically, prosperity shards, the only place you can get them is from the various ores, which we don't have access to other than going to the nether and running around and mining, which I don't really want to do, or sifting sand. And you can sift sand, and it's a decent drop. But every time I need prosperity shards, which I need a lot of for seeds and mostly for seeds and master infusion crystals, I guess, I have to go sift a bunch of sand, and I'm tired of sifting, so I don't want to do that anymore. So I am going to use this auto sieve to go ahead and get our sand process automated. And this is relatively easy. I think I actually am going to just run some pipes out here. I'm basically tapping into the back of our processing system. If you remember, all of these extract on brown and insert into our storage drawers. And our storage drawers do have storage for prosperity shards, so that's not a big deal. And one of these drawers is actually producing sand. I think it's that one. And we have a ton of materials backed up for sand, so making sand isn't a big deal. So all we need to do really is probably get some more item conduits. I thought I had more here. I do. I was smart. So if I run these out, and then I should do these one at a time. And that, and I'm going to run this out into this way right now, just so, oops. I don't know why that went there. So you are going to, before I do anything, I want to put a filter on that because I only want sand to go into that. I can come over here and I can steal some sand just so we have a bit to play with. And let me find this filter. So this is our usual filter. We have a white list. We put a piece of sand in there, and then we set this. Oops. We're going to actually click the right thing. We're going to put the filter there. We're going to set that to insert, and we're going to put it on the brown channel because remember, all these devices extract on brown, and that should automatically fill this with sand. And there we go. We have our sand coming in. So The next thing this needs is we need a trash can. That's not the next thing we need. The next thing we need is a mesh. And if we put a mesh in here, this is going to start sifting, and it's not particularly fast, but it's going to get us some prosperity shards over time. It's also going to get us a bunch of junk, and to be honest, I don't think there's anything here we care about except for the the prosperity shards and the Yellorium. Because this does give us Yellorium dust, and we'll keep that because we may need a nuclear reactor in the future. So the next step is to wait. There's our Yellorium dust that we want, and if we can get a prosperity shard, I'll cheat. I think I can pull one out of here. Yeah, we'll just pull one out of here. We're going to make a filter here. And we're just going to whitelist no, you know what? I'm going to do this the other way around. I'm going to blacklist. No. I will go ahead and whitelist these two items. Because those are the things we need. We need prosperity shards and Yellorium. And I'm going to set those in here as the item filter, and we're going to extract on brown, and that means that any prosperity shards or Yellorium that come in here are going to go into this pipe, which again feeds over into this connected system, which, oh my god, that's so complicated. I'll have to remember to hook that around to the redstone too. Anyhow, those all feed into this, so our prosperity shards and Yellorium will end up showing up over in our drawers. And if I wait for a few minutes, we should actually see at least one prosperity shard show up, please. No? None at all? This is pretty slow. But it's not me standing there doing it. Alright. I don't think I can put these in here. No, I can't. Are we getting prosperity shards? Well, we have 18 in here, and there were 17. Yeah, there. We just got another one. So it is filtering them over there, because that's our only source of prosperity. So the next thing I want to do is, if I have another filter, which I might. Yeah, I have another filter. This is the filter that I'm going to set as a blacklist, and I'm going to blacklist the stuff that we care about. And then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to take my Yeta wrench, and I'm going to hit that, and on the upside, on extract, I'm going to put this blacklist here. So the blacklist means that it's going to accept everything except these items. So basically all this other stuff in here is going to get dumped into the trash. So we go ahead and set this to extract always active, and we set this to insert, and that should empty all the junk out of here that we don't care about. And you can see it's removing it. And it doesn't have to be fast because the sifter is really slow. So that takes care of our prosperity shards. And we're not going to get a ton of them, and the drawer for prosperity shards in here, I just have to remember not to put a void upgrade on it, because eventually what I'll want is this drawer to back stuff, and eventually that will back stuff the sifter, and the back stuff sifter will then stop taking sand resources out of this. So it is, we have plenty of resources for this, but you know, the less we make of unneeded resources, the better. So this has been running now for about 10 minutes. And we have, where are we? We have 1 quintuple compressed cobblestone. So it's working. It's not super fast. I'm going to let it run in the background while we go do something else. And I have the something else that I have in mind is power related. I have been doing some stuff in our AE2 room. I have upgraded these with some additional processors and memory. I moved the smart cables down to a reasonable location so we could actually see how many channels we're using. And back in the back here where our machines are, I went ahead and I did a little rearranging, and you can see it's a bit of a nightmare back there. But everything is functionally the same. I did add an alloy smelter here, so now we can start automating that. And we have 2 more machine slots ready to go as soon as we figure out what machines we want. So this is unchanged, I think. And yeah, I don't think I changed much else. Oh, I know what I did. I did put another terminal down here just so we can craft stuff from the lower floor. And I made a bunch of crafting recipes. So we can craft pretty much all of the common components from AE2. I can also auto-craft all these essences. And that's actually something that I should show you because it's something we need to work on. If we decide we want to craft, let's say, Superium Essence. Superium Essence takes, one of these takes 4 intermedium, and each intermedium takes 4 prudentium, and each prudentium takes 4 inferium essences. So if I want to craft like, I don't know, let's say 20 of these, well, that's not a very fair test because I made a bunch of intermedium essence. Let's go ahead and do something a little more challenging. Let's go ahead and craft 100 of these. And it takes a while to calculate this because it's a huge job. You can see that this is 4K inferium. We need to craft another 280 some in intermedium, and then we need to craft 1,000 plus prudentium to craft 100 of these. That is a lot of crafts, and each of those crafts, for every 4 items that we craft together, we need a master infusion crystal. So if I were to run this now, because we only have 1 master infusion crystal, each of these processes can only run 1 by 1. There's no way for the crafting system to do it any faster. But if we look at our ME interfaces, each ME interface has actually 4 molecular assemblers attached to it, which means potentially each interface can run 4 simultaneous crafts. So the way to work around this is we make some more master infusion crystals. And I think I probably have most of what I need to make some of these. Really? What do I need? Oh, I need supremium essence. So let's go ahead. I'm going to make 3 more of these, which means we need 12 supremium essence, which shouldn't take too long because we have the intermediate essence. So let's just run this, and you can see this is just sitting here doing 1 by 1. And if I look around here somewhere, yeah, here it is. This is the ME interface that has that recipe in it, and you can see it's just using 1 molecular assembler to make the it's probably superium essences. And so, you know, it's not a super fast process, but if we add more master infusion crystals, it will be faster. No crafting jobs active. Really? Oh, that's why. So let's go ahead and do this. And they don't stack. So now we have 4 essences. So if we want to make a bunch of supremium, now if we say we want to make 100 of these, it still takes a while to calculate because it's a big crafting recipe. Wow, it's a really big crafting recipe. Hello, working. Did it break? No, it's still working. Wow, that's a lot. There we go. Oh. I did supremium, not superium. So that's going to take 20,000 inferium, which we don't have. We're getting close. We have 4. We're just missing 4K, but that is a lot of crafts. So we're not going to do that. I actually wanted to make superium, 100 of these. This is a little more reasonable scale. It's still going to take a while to calculate, but it's a little more reasonable. There we go. So now if I start this and I turn around and run and look at those molecular assemblers quickly, we should see these crafts running in parallel, maybe? Yeah, see there, you can see 2 of them running in parallel. I don't know why it's not using more of the assemblers for the individual recipes. Maybe it is somewhere. Ah, there it is. See, it's running multiple Prudentium recipes at once. That's because we have more master infusions. And if we look at the progress in here, you can see it's going to take a while, but it is running, relatively quickly compared to what it was. We can make crafting cards to speed this up. So that was one thing I wanted to do. The other thing that's a problem is this. While this is working and it's keeping us in power and, this energy cell is running fine and we're using somewhere between 275 and probably 600 or 700 RF per tick if everything cranks up. Our bottleneck is rice slime balls. So each rice plant produces 1 rice, and it takes 3 rice to produce it produces 2 dough, and then 4 dough to produce 4 slime balls. So it's a lot of rice to produce the 4 slime balls we need to produce 400 RF per tick. And even with 3 farms fully running and generating our slime balls, and they have, there's a sprinkler there, there's 3 tier 3 growth crystals. We're still, if we do a bunch of processing, we're still losing power relative to, we're still losing rice balls because the farm just can't keep up. So there's a couple things we could do. This potentially could produce 1200 RF per tick. So one thing we could do is I could just put a bypass here and put a drawer here that gets regular slime. Because remember, we have, if we look in here and look for slime, we have all the slime balls from our slime trees upstairs, plus the congealed slime blocks that they produce. So we have a lot of additional slime being produced, which, we could do. I wouldn't have a problem doing that. Or we can look at a secondary source of power. And I think at this point, I would rather find another source of power that we can use. And I don't really have a strong idea what I want to do yet. I've been looking at a few things in JEI. Like if we look at dynamos, We do have this numismatic generator, which, if we look at what it can do, if we add this lapidary calibration, diamonds produce 1.2 million RF, which is a fair amount of RF. And if we look over here in our storage drawers, we have a good number of diamonds. I don't know how many, but I think we are over 16 stacks. Yeah, we have 300 stacks of diamonds. So we have a lot of diamonds, so we could do that. That was one option I was considering. The other option I was considering was where is it? I think it was the compression dynamo. And I think the compression dynamo might be the way to go, because refined fuel is something we can make from, if we look for the recipe for this, there it is, reflux column. We can make that from naphtha, and naphtha we can make from liquefacted coal, and liquefacted coal we can get from the magma crucible by processing pulverized coal into liquefacted coal. Coal is another thing we have a lot of. I'm not sure where it is, but we have a lot of coal. Yeah, we have 256 stacks, and this drawer is a void drawer, so we clearly have plenty of coal because that's produced by chickens. So those are the two things I'm considering right now. I'm considering either doing the numismatic generator or the compression dynamo running off of refined fuel. And both of those have options to, we can add augments to increase the output. They're both going to give us a reasonable amount of power and be easy to set up in a fairly compact space. I've done the refined fuel system before, and it's like, I think it's 3 machines. We need a pulverizer to pulverize the coal. We need the magma crucible to process the coal into our liquefacted coal, and then we need a couple of refineries to whatever that machine is called. What is that machine called? It's not a refinery. It is the fractionating still. We need 2 fractionating stills to take the liquefacted coal to naphtha, and then the naphtha to refined fuel. So 4 machines get us our process up and running. And then, of course, we need the generators that are going to use the fuel, plus a source of coolant, which is water. And we have easy sources of water. We have the sinks, which we can use, that are really easy. So I'm not sure which of those I'm going to do. I'm going to think about it between episodes. And we're probably a little short on time here, but I think that's a good place to call it quits here. I'm going to take one last look at our cobblestone generator and our sand sifter to see how they're doing and make sure we're not having any issues there. We still do not have any sextuple compressed cobblestone, but we do have 2 quintuples, so and almost 3. So we're moving along here, and these are running at a pretty decent clip. So we'll have plenty of cobblestone next time we come back. Over here, our sifter's running fine, and the trash can is doing its thing. I don't know why I looked at it, because we can't really see anything with the trash can. And if we look at prosperity shards, we have 25. And I used a bunch to make the master infusion crystals, so we're definitely getting more prosperity shards. And so these are both working. Both these systems are working. And I can get rid of this. Oops. So anyhow, I think I'm going to call it there, even though the episode's a little short. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope the sound quality has improved a little bit with this episode. I've been doing some work on getting my audio process cleaned up and changing out a little bit of equipment, so hopefully I'm getting better quality audio to you guys. Let me know if it sounded better to you. It's hard to judge your own work sometimes. But anyhow, thanks again for watching. If you have a comment or want to provide some feedback or have any ideas on power that we should implement, go ahead and just leave it below. And as always, likes and subs are appreciated. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.